I'm good. How have you been?
All good. Busy,
Yes.
but busy good.
When's
So,
the last time I saw you? Well, I saw you when I was on stage in Portugal, wasn't it?
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I waved at you. I was like, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very good. Everything good? Been busy?
Yes, yes. Very busy. Very, extremely busy actually. And I started the promo for Sinsaenum like 2 days ago, and yeah, it's getting quite emotional. Obviously, talking about all that, but yeah, just keeping busy and it's all
Yeah.
good.
Very good. And let's go straight to Sinsenium. We can talk about probably creator in a bit after, but you know, how when did you actually start the songwriting process? And I mean, in the sense that do you still believe you could make another record after what happened, with Joey and everything else? Do you believe that you still had another album in you with Sinsenum?
Yeah, I started the songs before all of that happened. I started writing stuff in 2019. So for me, there would be a third album. I was just going to take my time because number one and number two got recorded and composed like back to back with an EP in between, and then we went on tour, and I was just exhausted, and I had to do Dragon Force and I had to do Amahiru, so I was just like, I'll do Sensei but I'm gonna take my time. There's no pressure. It's fine. Blah blah. And then we had COVID. Then started to work with Creator on the new album because that's when I joined Creator as well. Then my father passed away, which was just put everything at a halt. And I'm like, nothing really matters. Don't really
Yeah.
care about music or anything. And then we talked about it with the other. No, then I had to carry on. What happened? Well, I was just like, I was a wreck for a few months. Then Joey died. So all of that was making it like very hard to. It was good that creator. I'm not like I have like the back seat. I have my roles in there, but I'm not driving,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing because I was just like, And then after Joey passed away, and we came to terms with that, or we got used to it, or whatever the word is, I don't know. Then we just talked about it, and we said, yeah, we have to carry on. That's his name, like he came up with the name Sinsaenum. And it's it's the album will be dedicated to him, will be dedicated to my father. In the meantime, I was still busy with Creator. I was feeling very empty inside. So it was a long process. We also lost our lighting guy, Fred, last year, like roughly now, actually, today, or it's the anniversary. Yeah, that's also dedicated to him. So yeah, but luckily, like I said, luckily I started writing before because I don't know if I
Yeah.
would have been able to come up with this after.
Yeah. It's always, for me, I lost my dad in 2019. I don't think we ever get over that. We carry on, we get busy, we do our stuff, but it's never, you never forget.
No,
It's there every day. Every
yeah,
day,
exactly.
something brings him to mind, some one way or another.
But
You know,
and with this promo, it's been like I'm talking about it all the time. So, but I've actually had a conversation with Paul Masvidal from Cynic a few years ago, and I was just like still in like full grieving mode. Must have been in 23 when we were on 70,000 tons of metal. I think it was. And I was just like, how do you do it? I said you have like that philosophy, yoga and whatnot. How do you do it? And he was just like, do not push the memories away. Accept. You need to accept because I was like trying to avoid thinking about my father,
yeah.
and you just have to accept the loss and accept the memories when they come and embrace them and whatnot. And Yeah. So no, but you're never the same. So you just
Yeah.
you're a new person, and losing friends is also very difficult. There's no like, what's worse and what's, but let's say yeah, that's a big pile of everything, and it changes a person forever. And
Yeah.
everybody is going through that. I mean, that's it. The whole album is not based around that. Not all the lyrics are about it. In fact, just one song in particular is about grieving, but the whole process has been done through that, and that's a subject that people avoid talking about. Like you never really talk about death as much as we should. No one is
Yeah.
prepared, and when it hits you in the face, you're like, "Fuck! Well, how do I deal with that?" And that's when you turn around and you come closer to people that've been through this, just like you, for example. When
Yeah.
you say, like, "I've lost my father," you just like there's a connection. My friends who lost their parents before, I was feeling sorry for them, but I had no
Yeah.
idea what was going on. And the
Yeah.
day I lost my father, they were there, and I was just like, yes, now I understand. So,
Yeah. And obviously, when someone like Joey, it's no longer with us, to replace him in a band, it's not easy. And I mean, replace a friend, it's something you don't do, you know. So Andre is a Portuguese guy.
I was
It
gonna
was,
say we chose a Portuguese guy.
it was for me when I read the news, I was like, finally we're getting some recognition, just not Ronaldo, like in the music now as well.
Yeah.
But Andre obviously he was working with you guys. It was like a tech for Joey. So it was like an easy decision. It's probably the best
Yeah.
we can have.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just like that.
Exactly. It stays in the family. We could have easily asked someone famous because we know people and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I felt more than ever that the family vibe was there, and just like sort of you see things a little differently. And I guess yeah, it came natural that Andre was there when we did the tour, and he was there with Joey all the time, and he was also coming on stage with us when we were doing the song Final Resolve. He was doing and it just like yeah, it just became obvious that we had to do that with him. So I just asked him, and he was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
And the thing that was annoying, like it's when the news came out for the album and you announced the lineup here in Portugal, I was probably the only one that mentioned that he was Portuguese.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else kind of realized that's a Portuguese guy in the band. And I'm like, hello.
But we didn't really. I guess he told me as well. It was just like, yo, no one knows. I'm like, yeah, but we don't write like he's from Portugal.
Yeah.
We just like we just mentioned like that. That's the guitar, the drum tech. Sorry, and that's our friend and our brother.
Yeah.
And I just forgot to mention like, by the way, he's from Portugal. So I guess people didn't put two and two together. I guess they were more, if they cared, they were probably more interested in just like a name, and they were like, oh, I don't know who that is, but or they knew or whatever. But yeah, no, my mistake. I didn't write like where the people are from. That's something we used to do in Dragon Force, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it was necessary.
No, I don't. I think music is universal.
Yeah.
I mean, and we as people, we're part of the world. We're not. I mean, I might have been born from Portugal, but I'm part of the planet.
Yeah.
It's. I don't think people should be, emphasize too much, because the way things are at the moment, the friction it causes someone being from somewhere else. I mean, we are all people. We belong on this planet. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, that's true, but I guess it's also normal. Like whether you like it or not, if you're born somewhere, you can have like a connection to this. But more to the point, it shows a lot of journalists also don't do their homework, because I could see that people did the bare minimum with what was in the press release, like not even mentioning the fact that I was in Creator, like no research. I was like, okay, they just like, I really have, next time I have to write everything, like, because you could tell that. So good for you that you mentioned that. Good.
No, it's people get it too easy. I think these days journalism is a bit different than it used to be.
It's not what it used to be.
Either you, one thing I realize, I work with bands and I help them, with PR sometimes, and I make a point of writing as much as possible to make life easier for the people getting the press, because I know for a fact that if I don't mention something, they won't.
Well, and I mean, lesson learned. I mean, but obviously we did it like well, but some stuff, flipped through. I didn't even realize it. I was just like, I'm sure the guy's gonna write like fucking, that's Fred, and he's from a creator. To me, it was obvious, but no. So it was just like it showed like SINSAENUM with band members from Dååth, Mayhem, Loudblast, and I was just like, wait, what? Yeah, what? But it doesn't really matter to me. It's not presented as. But I noticed that. I'm just like, okay, that's funny. That's how it is nowadays. Not everybody, some people actually did their homework. Some of them are just like sort of FR, just like known for being in Dragon Force, like no idea. I've been in creator for like 6 years now. But, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, this is so unimportant to me. It's just I'm like,
and obviously, with Creator and Dragon Force, we were used to seeing you on bass, but you're a guitar player. And so when you wrote the songs for SINSAENUM, mainly was the guitar the go-to instrument for you?
Yeah, maybe the song Shades of Black might have been started on bass, like a sort of, even though, it's like quite basic, but that I could see that one possibly. It really depends. Sometimes I'm just gonna grab an instrument. It has to be one with strings, so either a bass or a guitar. But most of the time, yes, it's gonna be the guitar, and most of the case, it's gonna be that guitar is not here, but it's a baritone antelope from ESP, and I've been recording the 3 album with this guitar. I mean, it's just like when I grab it, it just probably sets my internal mode to just like SINSAENUM. So yeah. So yeah, I'd say 95% on guitar.
If you have to, as I was saying, we know you for playing bass in those bands. But if you had to present yourself, let's say to a friend of the wife or, family member, you present yourself as a guitar player or as a bass player?
Present myself as a musician. I'm not precise because anyway, people don't really know what bass is. They're like, bass, what is it? What's the difference? I'm just like, less string, it's slower. Oh, okay, strange. I don't hear it. So yeah, I'll just say I'm a musician. In fact, I don't really say much. I'm just like, yeah, I play music. And then they're like, oh, but what's your real job? Or, do you do that? You live from it? So that's why I give up. I don't, Also, I don't have a wife anymore. So I don't really have to.
Okay.
So because you just put me off guard, I'm like, I don't present myself in that situation anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, and when did you guys finish actually the whole recording for these SINSAENUM records?
Say again.
When did you finish when you complete the recordings?
The actual recordings, like the last minute, just like this, there's something there. Must have been December. Maybe I sent like a last. Oh, can you please blah blah. It's been a long process. Like I said, started recording. Demos, ideas in 2019. In 2020, that's when we had COVID. We started maybe doing demos with Stéphane, but I'm not sure. Or 21. Then when I recorded the album for Psy, that must have been in 22. And that's when I met Lasse Lammert, who's been working on the album. That's when I decided, okay, I want to work with him. And then it was just by sessions. I think in 22, we started with the drums. Then throughout 23, we started recording guitar, and it was going through, quite possibly. With the same motion as when you're depressed, which might be the case. Who knows? But just like, oh, okay, I'm like focused on it for like a month, recording, blah, blah, doing this. And then also, that doesn't help. I have a very busy schedule with Creator.
Yeah.
I'm like going away for a long time. Then when you come home, you kind of have to, sort of gather your thoughts again and try to live a normal life when you have the opportunity to. It took a while. That's why. But there was no pressure. There was no pressure. We just wanted to make something good. I didn't want to rush things and, just, yeah, we're coming, we're going to make an album, this is our new drummer. And the songs are just not there. I just wanted this to be like a good one because I knew this was going to be dedicated, to Joey and my father, not Fred at the time, but, and I was just like, it better be good, So the songs were great as well. There was no pressure from the label. The head of the label, we talked about it and we're just like, do an album that you're proud of. No, no worries. We need to find the right time when I'm off with Creator as well. So there was just like a lot of reason to make that, in sessions, if you will. Yes. So it was a difficult process, but
Yeah.
still the album, I don't think suffers from this. You can't really tell, this has been done in like over 4 years and it's not pieced together. I think we managed to hide that quite well. Now I'm just like giving it away, but
Yeah, but with technology these days, I think you can record in 2-3 years and still sound exactly, as it should. It's not like back in the 70s if there was like an upgrade in.
I heard something about it not so long ago. I can't remember who's. Someone was saying just like you people miss the old time. It fucking sucks because you had to. If you wait too long, then the sound completely is different and
Yep.
whatnot. No, this is quite fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously with an album, obviously you're busy with Creator. We know that you're going to do some summer shows with Creator as well. When are you going to fit SINSAENUM for the live, for some shows? Is there anything planned?
Yeah, in October we mentioned it briefly. We just want to finalize this, and we're gonna do a show in Lisboa if my memory serves right, which makes sense now that we have a Portuguese drummer. So we. The thing is, we are doing small shows. There's no pretension in that. The style of music, back to basics. We've been away for 7 years, and also, I had my schedule clarified only earlier this year, and by that time everything is booked. So you kind of have to take whatever. But we still we want to tour. So that's we took what was left, so to say. We're still trying to make it work, and some of the places we go to are just like, we're going to play in my hometown, for example. Just, this is cool, So it's different routing that, let's say, something I would do with Creator, but this is cool nevertheless. So we've been working on it. Not me so much, because my head is not there, and that's not part of my job. I'm not very good at that, but we're working on shows and yeah.
And what is, obviously you've been away for 7 years, as you mentioned. What is how did you bring back together the name of the band for people to be aware? And, because some people have short memory span,
Yeah.
In this day and age.
Yes.
And so like 7 years, it's almost like starting a band from zero.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
So what is the biggest challenge with that? It's to try to book shows that you won't lose any money. It's trying to find places where you can actually play and have like good conditions.
Yeah, I get no. Yeah, I mean, like, so we're not, we don't want to just like be completely like delusional and just like, yeah, we're gonna play those big venues and blah blah. We are starting from scratch, but we've got the luxury to already have a name. So funny enough, like when we couldn't really talk about it too much, I couldn't really start the promo until we had like a music to defend, because it's always easy to go like, so indeed, like people forgot. Oh, that's what I thought. But when we released it, I've always noticed that on streaming platforms, like people were still listening to us. So I'm just like, okay, we're not starting from zero. At least people know the name. It rings a bell. It's just that. And then so we due to the circumstances, because people are gonna be like, oh, who's on drums, what's going on. We needed to come up with a plan. To come up with a plan, you need to have an album finished first, and so on and so on. So the difficulties, I don't know. I'm just starting to. It's not even facing them, because it's actually quite good. I mean, when we booked those shows, bearing in mind we didn't have like that many options, and we don't really care. We not go like, oh, we need to have like 12 tour buses and whatnot. It's really cool. It's just like, for me, it's fun. People are just like, oh yeah, SINSAENUM, fuck yeah. So we're just like, okay, they remember. Then we release the song, and people are just like, oh yeah, SINSAENUM, we actually remember. So it's a pleasant surprise,
Yeah.
It's better to go first and be like, okay, no one cares. So that way, you only go up from there. And I'm glad that people, kept us somewhere in there, like very short-term memory. Like there was like a little place for us in SINSAENUM, and I think it's cool. And like I said, it's been very positive so far. So yeah.
Yeah. And, just quickly talking about Creator last year, there was a show in the summer that was going to happen.
It was going to be now, or like tomorrow, rather, like a year from now.
Yeah. And, people weren't aware of what really happened.
So do I have to explain that?
No, I can explain. It was a mixing desk problem but people didn't believe that.
No, we were behind. So, and people were just like, oh, there was nothing wrong. I could hear them like play some Maiden. Some guy was playing Maiden. I said, yes, that was me actually, because our tour manager was also the sound guy. Was like, okay, give me some bass, give me an instrument. So I was playing. I kept on playing, and the sound was actually jumping like dBs, like from 0 to 10. So it was not possible to make the album, to make the concert. So we were supposed to start at 9, and then we were just like, oh, it's running a little late, ha ha ha. Then 9:15, 9:30, we're just like, fuck, this is not gonna happen. And then we had to escape because we didn't know how people were going to react. And then next thing you know, you read people going like, they were not there, they didn't bring merch. So merch, just so you know, when we fly, we don't bring merch with us. It's the merch company who ships boxes of merch for them to arrive. We don't carry merch ourselves, not anymore. And or not when we're not on tour. There was a one-off. When we do like a European tour, yes, we have a trailer, we have like a bus with like stuff, or like a truck with boxes in there. But for this one, no, it was supposed to be shipped, and for some reason, it didn't. So people were just like very clever. People going like, no, I'm clever. I know what's going on. There was no merch. Those guys were not there. Yeah. And some people, I even read. It's always like one or two comments, but it's still funny. Someone said like, yeah, they preferred to go and see Scorpions because there was like Scorpions playing next door. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, like exactly. Hey, Miller, how about we don't play the show and go and see Scorpions? Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, fuck those guys. So it was really fucking stupid because we were pissed. Obviously you travel. It takes time and energy and money and to go there, and there was no explanation, and it was also difficult with the promoter. Like no one was really explaining what was going on. And you could see like people on the internet going like, blah, blah, blah. So in a nutshell, we were there. It was fucked. We were sorry, but we made up for it. And the show in December was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it was a great show. And
it was awesome. It was the end of the tour. Everybody was tired. Anthrax and Testament were flying home. They were like, haha, you have a last one. It was just, oh my God. We flew to Portugal. We were really fucking exhausted because we had done the US prior, like the US maybe like a couple of weeks off, and then Europe, and it takes its toll. And we were just like, and now comes fucking Portugal because we had that show, and we're just like, I mean, it's the least we can do. But and as soon as honestly, I was like, oh God, fuck, and as soon as we came on stage and people were so energetic, now I love Portugal. I love being in Portugal. I have friends in Portugal. It's great. But nevertheless, I was just like, ugh. But as soon as we enter the stage and people's energy and whatnot, it was actually one of the best shows of the tour, if not the best. And it was just like, that was great. And it was awesome to finish on such a high note. So,
Yeah.
obrigado.
Yeah, it's we love that. And, just going back to that, like in the summer, because I was there, I was backstage, I saw you guys there, and I was telling people, no, the guys are there. The merch got stuck somewhere in costumes, but they're not coming on stage to say anything. It's because they're trying to fix the issue. Just calm down, and then it's just we have hot blood, I guess. And
I wanted to go on stage. I wanted to go and say something, just like, hey, guys, it doesn't work, or like if the microphone actually, and our tour manager was just like, no, run. So we had to go because we didn't know how people could react.
Yeah,
we had the same issue in when we did the Clash of the Rupert. That festival, we had to cut the set short because of like weather.
Rain, yeah.
But this time we're just like, you know what, fuck that. We're definitely going on stage and we're saying something. So lesson learned. Yes.
So what are you're booked until the end of the year? For next year, what are the plans? The last Creator album was released in 2022. Are you guys already working on new music, more touring?
I mean, first, like, there's the movie coming out that's been announced, and then we've been talking about it, like, so there will be news about it soon, but it is time for a new album, I guess. So so in the meantime, I'm releasing SINSAENUM, putting out the album on the 8th of August, doing the tour in October. And then maybe some more dates in January, but then next year I know already that this will be a Creator again, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's good to be busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're doing something that you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Fred, thank you very much for your time. All the best for SINSAENUM. See you in October, hopefully. So fingers crossed for that.
Yes.
And with Creators, see you again somewhere in Portugal, somewhere in Europe. And say hello to Akira from me. I love cats.
Yes.
And
she's upstairs. I will go and say hi.
Yeah. And I hope to see you soon, all right?
Yeah, me too.
Right, thank you very much. Have a great day. And see you soon. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Obrigado. De nada.